Before the stars found their rhythm in the sky and the rivers learned the names of their gods, there was a kingdom called Ebon, hidden between 7 hills and a lake as wide as the moon. Its people were known for their music, their golden harvests, and their drums, sacred drums that spoke to the spirits. But peace in Ebon was a delicate thing, as fragile as a spider's web after rain. And this is the story of how love, betrayal, and destiny tore that web apart, only for the rhythm of the ancestors to weave it again. In the village of Endalo, on the edge of Ebon, lived a young woman named Amara, daughter of a poor potter. Her eyes carried the calm of river water, and her laughter made even the old forget their pain. She often sang while shaping clay, her voice soft as dawn mist. Far across the fields, in the heart of the royal compound lived Prince Obadel, the only son of King Zuberi, a ruler feared and respected. The prince was skilled with the spear and wise with words, but restless, for he hated the walls of the palace. Often, disguised as a common man, he would wander the villages, listening to the songs of the people. It was on one such night that their worlds collided. There was a festival in Endalo to honor Olurentie, the god of fertility. The air trembled with drums, the smell of roasted yam, and the chant of dancers. Obadel slipped from the palace, his royal beads hidden, his heart hungry for freedom. Amara danced with the maidens by the fire, her waist moving like wind through grass. The prince stood among the crowd, breathless, for never had he seen beauty so pure and untamed. When she sang, the world seemed to listen. As the festival ended, he approached her with a shy smile. "You dance as if the moon follows your feet," he said. "And you speak as if you were born under its shadow," she replied, teasingly. They spoke until the fire died, and though the night ended, their hearts did not. Weeks passed, the prince returned again and again, always in disguise. They met by the riverside where the mist hid their laughter. He told her stories of dreams and justice. She spoke of simple hopes, of peace, of family, of freedom. Soon, love took root between them like a hidden vine. But love in Ebon was not free. The royal bloodline was sacred. The king had promised his son to Princess Imani of the neighboring realm. It was a marriage meant to seal peace between kingdoms. To break it was to invite war. And yet, Obadel whispered, "I will fight the world for you." Amara smiled sadly, "And I will stand beside you, even if the world breaks us first." But in the palace shadows lurked Chief Oregon, the king's advisor. He was old, cunning, and ambitious, a man who had long desired power greater than loyalty allowed. He noticed the prince's disappearances and sent spies to follow. When he discovered the secret meetings by the river, his heart boiled with dark opportunity. He went to the king. "My lord," he said, bowing, "your son walks with danger. He defies your will and stains the royal blood with clay and smoke." King Zuberi's face turned cold. "Bring me proof," he said. And Oregon did. He brought Amara's clay necklace, found where the lovers met. The king's rage was thunder. "Find her, banish her. If my son protects her, he too will share her fate." Soldiers stormed Endalo before sunrise. They dragged Amara from her home, her mother wailing, her clay pots shattering behind her. The prince fought to reach her, but he was seized too, beaten, and chained in the palace yard. King Zuberi stood over them both. "You have shamed my house," he thundered. Amara fell to her knees. "My king, I meant no disrespect. I only followed my heart." "Then your heart is your curse," he replied. She was banished, sent beyond the hills into the forest of mists, a place no one returned from. The prince was locked away, forbidden to speak her name again. But destiny listens, even in silence. Months later, deep within the forest, Amara gave birth to a son. She named him Kioni, meaning born of sorrow but destined for light. The forest spirits took pity on her. The old hermit Mama Ez, keeper of the ancestral flames, found her and raised her child with her. Years passed. Kioni grew strong, swift as the wind, kind as dawn. His mother told him stories of Ebon, of love and betrayal, but never of his father's name. In the palace, Prince Obadel never married. The arranged alliance broke, and war whispers grew around Ebon. King Zuberi aged with guilt, though he never spoke it. Chief Oregon, meanwhile, grew hungrier. He began to poison the council with lies, twisting truth into chains. Soon, he ruled the court behind the throne. And then came the drought. The rivers dried, the drums fell silent, crops withered under sky that refused to rain. The diviners said, "The ancestors are angry, a blood wrong has not been cleansed." But none understood, none except the spirits in the forest. One night, as Kioni hunted, a silver serpent crossed his path and spoke. You are the bridge between curse and salvation. The blood that was divided must return to heal the land." Kioni trembled. "What do you mean?" The serpent smiled. "Ask your mother of her tears." When he returned, Amara told him the truth. He was the son of the prince, the rightful heir to the throne of Ebon, and the kingdom's fate was bound to his. Kioni journeyed to Ebon with the courage of youth and the spirit of the forest behind him. When he arrived, the kingdom was starving, and Chief Oregon had seized power, keeping the old king imprisoned and the prince exiled. Kioni entered the marketplace, speaking to the people, reviving their hope. His voice carried the rhythm of prophecy. Some whispered that he looked like the lost prince of old. Soon, Oregon heard of the stranger stirring rebellion and ordered his capture. But Kioni escaped, helped by none other than the Aging Prince Obidal, who saw his own face in the boy. "Who are you?" the prince asked. "Your son," Kioni replied, his voice steady. Tears broke the man's silence. The truth shone in his eyes. Amara's spirit had returned through the child. When dawn rose, drums thundered across Ebon once more. Father and son, bound by blood and destiny, led the people against Oregon's guards. The old chief summoned dark spirits to fight for him, smoke creatures with the faces of hyenas, but Kioni called upon the forest gods. The silver serpent rose from the river, wrapping itself around the palace walls. Lightning split the sky, the ancestors roared. When the dust settled, Oregon lay dead, his greed devoured by the very shadows he had conjured. The curse broke, rain fell for the first time in years. King Zuberi, freed from Oregon's spell, fell to his knees before his grandson. "Forgive an old man's pride," he wept. Kioni lifted him. "Let the past rest, let love be the law again." Amara was brought home to Ebon not as an outcast, but as the mother of salvation. The kingdom rebuilt itself, not upon power, but upon unity. When the rains returned, the people said they could hear two drums in the thunder, one of sorrow, one of joy, echoing together as one. And thus, the griots say, even the gods cannot silence a love that was born to heal the land.